Okay, so I think this particular song talking about reverb is fairly useful in demonstrating how just how much reverb you can actually get away with in some cases if it's EQ'd right and if it's placed properly. And of course, this all depends on the song. I've got a song here that's fairly busy, a lot going on in it. So let's do a little bit of kind of testing just so you can kind of test your ear to notice how the reverb moves in and out and how it affects the song. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off. I'm actually using this Chris Lord-Alge Waves plugin, which the reverbs on here are really incredible. If you don't have this plugin, it's definitely a winner. I mean, I'm not a big fan of these all-in-ones, but this one does a great job on vocals, particularly this Chris Lord-Alge vocal by Waves. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the reverb off. Get the proper channel set up here. You might notice that I'm working on an old Cubase 6 because I have an old iMac computer and I just don't want to upgrade and go through all the trouble of configuring everything again. But anyway, so we're going to solo without the reverb. I'm going to also take this room out of here as well, and we're going to listen to the song Dry, and then I'm going to put the reverb in the mix so you can hear how it changes the flow of the song. Also notice not just how the reverb affects the voice, like you'll notice how it pulls the voice in, but it changes the whole rhythmic flow because the voice has a little bit more length and extension. I mean, the song sounds good dry without the vocal, but just pay attention to how this affects it and how it's fairly subtle. Alright, so I mean, it sounds okay. The vocals sound nice. The song's, you know, it's alright. The balance is good. It's full. It's all there. But notice what happens when I put the reverbs back in. Not so much just how the vocal sounds itself, but the whole rhythmic flow of the song is and how much more full it is. It seems to carry the song better. Let's try it again here. Now, is it just me, or does that totally change the feel of the song? The whole rhythm of it is different. It just has more draw. It just pulls you in because each of the vocal seems to carry over and extend beyond the end of each phrase. It just makes the whole song feel completely different. Now, what's interesting is when you actually solo this and listen to how much reverb there actually is on the voice. Check this out. Weight of the world that you're feeling now. Like you're looking at about a 3-second reverb. So you can use a lot of reverb if you just carefully just put it into the song or onto the particular element, and just blend it down so that it just has a different feel to it. I noticed this on old recordings. If you go onto YouTube now, for example, and you can listen to various different vocal parts or even guitar parts soloed and really listen to how much reverb there is on them, and then go listen to the actual mix and notice how cleverly that the reverb is mixed down and blended in with the song. So the thing to do is experiment. I think what you have to do is you have to sort of A/B and listen to it with and without. So let's do that right now. We've heard how much reverb there is actually soloed, which really isn't relevant how much there is soloed. It's what it sounds like in the mix, and it's always about what it sounds like in the mix. So what I like to do is A/B, because the human mind kind of has to hear a comparison to really get a feel for what's really going on. So let's try A-Bing, taking the reverb in and out so you can see how it affects the mix at each stage. second phrase out.
It's just the weight of the world that you're feeling now. How long before rising tides reach the skies?
It's subtle, but it really does change the song. So just an idea of how you can use reverb in different ways and how you can sort of blend it in. What I like to do is push it till you can actually hear it as you're mixing, and then kind of back it off until it sort of disappears, and then A-B it, and so you can find its spot in the mix, because it's easy to overdo it and not realize it until later when you print the mix. So it takes a little bit of A-Bing and experimenting. So why that's acting up on me, I don't know. Let's try that. Let's try pushing it a little bit too hard and then backing it off until we see where its point is. And you'll see where I've kind of just pulled it down so it creates an essence, it creates a flavor on that vocal, changes the flow of the song, but it isn't so overbearing that it's drenched in reverb like something you'd hear back in the 80s. Okay. So we'll put it in, we'll push it really high, and then we'll back it off back where it was, and you can see the difference.
It's just the weight of the world that you're feeling now. How long before rising tides reach the skies? It's just the weight of the world that you're feeling now. How long before
Right about there where it was is just right to my ear. So let's try doing that right on the end of a phrase.
it's just the weight of
You can open that up so we can get that phrase right down short, repeat it.
It's just the weight of the world that you're. It's just the weight of the world that you're. It's just the weight of the world that you're feeling now.
Well, let's listen to right after Feeling Now. Let's just shorten that up so we don't have to listen to so much of it. So we'll listen to the end of that phrase.
Weight of the world that you're feeling now. Weight of the world that you're feeling now. Weight of the world that you're feeling now.
Could back that off just a little bit, right? Just to blend it in. I could pull it down even more.
Weight of the world that you're feeling now. Weight of the world that you're feeling now.
I think that's just about right. There's just enough there to pull and create some extension, to create some fullness on the end of that phrase, but not so much that it's drenched. Let's try it drenched and you'll see the difference.
That you're feeling now.
See there? That's just sort of taking over the whole song. It sounds like something out of the 80s, right? Just way too much reverb. So right about there.
That you're feeling now. Weight of the world that you're feeling now.
Well, this is another thing that I think is important to do, is to actually find the end of a phrase so you can listen to that reverb extension, that throw on the end of the phrase, so that you can get a feel for where it is in the mix. It's a lot easier to hear it there. So just a couple of tips for you to help you kind of zone in and figure out where to put the reverb and where to place it so it doesn't sound overbearing. Unless, of course, that's the effect you're going for. If you're going for an overbearing reverb effect, then by all means, go for it. But if you're just looking to create a feel and to create that that essence of having depth in the mix, then it's great to just blend it in where it's just audible. So try to find an end throw there so you can listen to it, and that'll help you out. That's my tip for today. Thanks for listening.